First, you will need a phonograph. The best beginner phonograph is an Edison standard, as it is one of the smallest, but it is also one of the best and most heavy-duty. But you can also use an Edison Home, an Edison Gem, and an Edison Fireside, as well as an assortment of other models. Next, you will need the recording attachment. This is probably the most important piece of the equation, as without it you will not be able to make any recordings, and they are relatively easy to find online. The next thing you will need are blanks. Now, unless you can find an original Edison or Columbia blank, you will either have to buy new blanks made by people such as Paul Morris, Sean Bory, or the Richards Audio Labs, or you will have to shave down old cylinders. Now, your best bet with these are old Epiphone and dictaphone cylinders, as these make the best and loudest recordings, though you can also shave old moldy brown wax or gold molded cylinders, and these are relatively inexpensive and common, found online or in antique stores. Next, you'll need a shaving machine. Now, these are usually found in antique stores as well as online for a relatively low price, as they were quite common because they were used in offices around the country. Usually you will find an Epiphone or dictaphone machine, as these were part of the dictation devices sold in offices around the country, though if you're lucky you will find an Edison machine, though they can be quite expensive. But Epiphone and dictaphone machines are relatively inexpensive. Once you've acquired all your necessary materials, you will want to start recording. Your first recordings probably won't be as best as you can do, so you will probably want to shave down and continue recording on your cylinder. But keep in mind you only have a certain amount of shaves per cylinder. For the rest of the video, I will show you the basics on making a good cornet solo recording, a very simple project once you first get started. Make sure your cylinder fits on the mandrel nicely and that the reproducer doesn't bottom out, meaning that the floating weight and needle on the end of the reproducer fit nicely on the cylinder. If this does not happen, you will need to shave your cylinder down. Now, to do this, gently place the cylinder blank on your shaver, shut the end gate, turn it on, and run it. Now, you do not have to wear gloves when shaving the cylinder. I just do because I don't like getting oil on the cylinder blank. Once you finish shaving, remove the end gate, pull off the cylinder, and you've got a fresh new blank. Your only other option if you don't have a shaver is to use chemicals to shave down the cylinder. Now, this does work, but it will often leave the cylinder noisy and uneven. Gently pick up your cylinder and place it on the mandrel. Then, if your phonograph has an end gate, make sure to close it. Now, gently start the phonograph and, by either pulling or pressing a button, pull down the lever that will put your recording attachment on your cylinder. Watch as I do in the video and make sure to gently do it, because otherwise you may have unwanted surface noise or damage your recording attachment. Now you must say the announcement at the beginning of your cylinder. This is a good way to identify your cylinder if you have no other means of doing it. Make sure to be loud and clear and get right up into the horn.
Waltz La Serenata, played on the cornet by Colin Hancock, Semper Record.
Notice how I was up into the horn, loud and clear with my voice, and made sure to say everything that was necessary to know what the cylinder was. Now let's watch the recording. Finish making your recording, gently remove the recorder from the cylinder and stop the phonograph. Then, take your cylinder gently off the mandrel, wipe off all the swarf, which are the small shavings of wax, and let it sit to cool. You should probably do this for about 2 to 5 minutes, just to make sure that the cylinder's grooves have time to set. Remove the recording attachment and put on the playing attachment. This should be your reproducer. Then, after the cylinder has cooled, put it back on the mandrel and play your cylinder.
Waltz La Serenata, played on the cornet by Cornet, Semper Records. Waltz La Serenata, played on the cornet by Colin Hancock, Semper Records.